can be the best thing about your day. It could be the worst. You'd be surprised how many people struggle to go when they're on the throat. Come to think about it, it's a pretty essential life skill that no one ever teaches you how to fully master. Well, thankfully, I'm here and I want to teach you how to have the best poop of your life. The number one routine for your number twos. As a surgeon, I've dealt with more poo than most. I've seen way too many people with bowel problems and constipation than I'd care to count. And sometimes it's so bad they need surgery. By the way, did you know that someone can be so constipated that they need a pacemaker to help control their bowel movements? Yeah. Listen, bad toilet behaviors can be a big problem for people, and the consequences can be serious, severe, and sometimes downright painful. All right, let's get into it. First of all, water, the essence of life. You need to drink plenty of it, full stop. Your waste is formed in the colon, the large intestine. The poo needs enough moisture to keep it nice and smooth and have it chugging along nicely through your bowels. This helps you pass it smoothly without straining. And if you don't drink enough water, the bowel transit time, or the amount of time the poo spends in your colon, increases. And if this happens, the chances of constipation goes up. And to make matters worse, if the stool just sits there sluggishly, the colon reabsorbs water and makes the stool harder and craggier and drier. And now you're stuck in a constant vicious loop of constipation, hard stool, causing more constipation, causing more hard stool. Break the cycle. Just imagine a hard rock stool tearing its way through your back passage and actually causing tears to the lining of your anus, causing anal fissures. Anal fissures can cause you to tense up and tighten your sphincters because it's so painful to pass stool, which just coincidentally can cause constipation as well. Once again, that vicious cycle. The treatment for anal fissures is to loosen the stool by having laxatives as well as drinking more water and also applying something called GTN cream, which helps to relax those sphincters. And in rare cases, if this fails, we can use Botox. Yeah, the same stuff some people inject into their face or lips, we can inject around your rectal sphincters to help them relax. Alright, so water equals good, but that's not enough. I'm a big fan of fiber, but how exactly does it work to help you poop? First of all, fiber is amazing for your gut bacteria, aka the microbiome. That's the whole colony and population of bacteria that live in your bowel. They have a huge role to play in your life, physical and mental health. These microscopic guests that you have, or probiotics as they're also called, thrive and feast when they're given fiber. And in return for you giving them the feast of fiber, they gift to you good health and good bowel movements, which is a pretty good exchange. Second, the fiber also helps to bulk up the stool and soak in all that water which you've hopefully drunk, and makes your stool nice and soft and easy to pass without straining. Now, my golden rule for fiber, as long as you don't have any other medical conditions like irritable bowel syndrome or anything else which prevents you from having high fiber, is to stick to 30 grams of fiber a day. And that's not too hard to actually attain. For example, an apple, a handful of nuts, some blueberries, half a tin of baked beans. Just in that, you've got about 15 or 20 grams of fiber. How often do you just sit there in the mornings praying to the toilet gods that you can just drop these two kids off at the pool and begin your day? Well, that's a problem. Although a lot of people develop routines and have a strict time when they go to the toilet, a lot of people don't. It's erratic. So my golden rule is go only when you need to go. Don't force it. This also applies if you're at work and the moment catches you. You need to go. I know you'd rather not use a public toilet, but listen, you can't catch infections and STDs from public toilet seats. I know you'd rather be in your own throne at home, but listen, you've got to go. Holding in your bowel movements for too long, you will lose the urge. That's not good. Literally, the poo will be sucked back into your intestines part of the way. You've probably heard of the circadian rhythm. You actually have these little body clocks all the way throughout your body. You've got them not only in the brain, you've got them in your guts, you've got them in your bowels, in your stomach, in your liver, everywhere. They're all linked to the main master clock in your brain. So if you have a regular routine, there's a good chance your bowels will also stick to that same routine. If you want to go to the toilet at 7 a.m. every day, if you make that a habit, that will become your new normal for your bowels. The bowels will set their own alarm clock for that time. But having said that, toilet pressure is no fun. If you sit on the toilet and there's no action there, do not force and do not strain. I promised you some sneaky life hacks to make you poop better, and here we go. Have you ever wondered why some people go to the toilet immediately after having a steaming hot cup of coffee? Is that you? Comment below if you need coffee to go in the morning.
What happened?
Need more coffee.
Why does that work? Is there something in the caffeine? Actually, we don't know. But what I do know is that drinking something hot or just eating something can stimulate something known as the gastrocolic reflex. When you eat something or you have some coffee, it stimulates the release of a hormone called gastrin, which is usually released when you have food. This stimulates the release of a bunch of other hormones which can increase the contraction of the muscles around the intestines. This increases intestinal motility, which can result in you needing to use the toilet. And another sneaky life hack which works if you're desperate to go to the toilet is chewing on sugar-free gum. This type of gum contains a chemical called sorbitol, which actually, as it turns out, is a type of osmotic laxative. And strangely enough, sometimes after patients who've had major bowel surgery, their bowels can sometimes go to sleep. We actually give patients black coffee or sugar-free gum to sometimes stimulate their bowels so they can go to the toilet before we send them home. You're sitting down on the loo. Normally there's a U-shaped muscle called the puborectalis, which wraps around the rectum. It wraps around it like a sling and causes a slight kink in the rectum. This makes it harder to pass waste. What helps to straighten this kink is actually elevating your feet. Doing this puts you in a more of a squat position. Think squatty potty. You can use an old towel that you're not using, a small footstool, anything which lifts your feet up slightly. If you followed these strange rules, there's a good chance you might become a bowel champion.